Chapter 3. Is it ever a good thing to have the entire population of your school turn and stare at you? If you've just scored the winning touchdown, yes. If you've just broken a swimming record, yes. If a weird guy in a skirt starts yelling your name in the middle of an assembly, never. He cupped his hands around his mouth. His voice echoed off the walls as he aimed his words at the 8th row, my row. Katrina, could you come down? I've a delivery to make, so if you just come down, I can reward your good deed and be on my way. I don't know what laws of physics are involved, but if you fill a gym with teenagers and tell them to stare at one object, heat is actually produced. I half expected to spontaneously combust. Stuck between a snickering freshman and a wide-eyed Elizabeth, I couldn't escape. I wanted to slide between the bleacher benches, pull my sweater up over my head, evaporate. Mr. Rubens grabbed the guy's arm. It's time for you to leave. The guy cocked his head. A puzzled expression spread across his face. There's no need for violence. You have my word that I'm a pacifist. I just need a bit of time with Katrina. I sank as low as I could without giving myself a spinal injury. I focused on Elizabeth's patent leather boots. How did she keep them so shiny? Why had she chosen red laces? Why was that guy making a scene, and how did he know my name? You'll have to wait until 3 o'clock when school is ended, then you can speak to Katrina, Principal Carmichael said. Perhaps that's not the rule at your school, but it's our rule. A long pause followed, during which I kept my head down. I'm not supposed to break any more rules, the guy said thoughtfully. I shall wait for her at 3 o'clock. Footsteps faded and the gym doors slammed shut. Elizabeth elbowed me. He's gone. Everyone started talking. Principal Carmichael excused us to our classes. Who was that? Vincent asked as we left the gym. That was the guy who was sleeping in the alley. I kept my voice low as students streamed past, smirking at me. See, I didn't imagine him. Elizabeth pushed between us. Huh? What are you talking about? I didn't have time to tell you. He's our age, Vincent interrupted. I thought he was an old homeless guy. Why did he come here to the assembly? Is he going to go to school here? What did he mean when he said he wanted to reward your good deed? He's gorgeous, Elizabeth said. I wish he'd reward me. Principal Carmichael sped towards us. Though she could only manage small steps in her high heels, she picked up momentum like a crazed tap dancer. Katrina, she called, motioning me aside. Vincent looked at his watch, shrugged apologetically, then continued to class. I'll tell you everything at lunch, I assured Elizabeth. You'd better. She wandered off. The principal smoothed her short hair and caught her breath. Katrina, please explain to your friend that this is not an open campus, and that in the future he must check in at the office. We can't have that kind of disruption again. In our post-9/11 world, we must be steadfast and firm in our procedures. He's not my friend. I turned my back on some eavesdroppers. There's no need to lie, she sighed. You're not in trouble. He's very handsome, and I can see why you'd want to go out with him. She fiddled with her blouse. Just make certain it doesn't happen again. I don't want it to happen again, I said. I don't even know him. Well, obviously he knows you. I made it to world mythology just before the bell rang, taking my seat behind Vincent, next to the windows. Whispers buzzed around the room. I looked out the window to avoid curious stares. A row of naked cherry trees lined the parking lot. The winter sky was thick with clouds, turning our little corner of the world gray. I must reward her good deed. I didn't expect to be rewarded for the pastries and coffee, and those chocolate-covered coffee beans had been an afterthought. I didn't even expect a thank you, but not making a spectacle would have been nice. He'd be waiting for me at 3 o'clock. Vincent, do you still have that shelter address? Vincent reached into his sweatshirt pocket and handed over the torn piece of notebook paper. I'm guessing he's not homeless, he said. I bet he just got messed up at a party and ended up passing out. Yeah, that makes sense, but just in case. If I ran into him, I'd say, You're welcome, but don't worry about rewarding me. And he'd go away. And he'd go away, never again to walk into the middle of an assembly and point at me. Soon the incident would disappear from the collective conscience, replaced by someone else's embarrassing moment, maybe a tumble in the cafeteria or a fart during study hall. But the world mythology teacher, Mr. Williams, was not ready to let my embarrassing moment evaporate. Katrina, he said. He plunked some books onto his desk. Your visitor this morning. What was that he said? My cheeks heated up. He wasn't my visitor. I don't even know him. I pretended that I had something to erase. But didn't he say he wanted to reward your good deed? Some of the other kids laughed and repeated, "Good deed." "I bet it was good," Aaron said, wiggling his eyebrows at me. "Great. Give a stranger a free cup of coffee and suddenly everyone thinks you're a slut." Well, this is quite a good coincidence because today we begin a chapter about good deeds. Mr. Williams picked up a text and sat at the edge of his desk, his thighs spread out like corduroy logs. The good deed is a common theme in mythology. Sometimes the doer is rewarded with fortune, fame, or power, but sometimes the good deed leads to the doer's downfall. Winter air seeped under the classroom windows. I shivered. I was too young for a downfall, wasn't I? We begin this section with a fable called Adrocles and the Lion. I only half listened as Mr. Williams read the story about the escaped slave who finds a lion in the jungle and removes a thorn from the lion's paw. As a reward for the good deed, the lion spares the slave's life when they later encounter each other in the Colosseum. I fiddled with the yellow reminder slip that someone had stuffed into my locker. Guidance counselor appointment Wednesday, 8 a.m. My vision blurred against Vincent's sweatshirt, which was damp around the collar from his wet swim practice hair. Vincent didn't need a guidance counselor. He knew exactly what he wanted and where he was headed. Likewise, Elizabeth's dream to open an art gallery in New York City guided her every move. They knew. I didn't know. Mr. Williams closed the book. One of the major themes in these good deed stories is that we should never underestimate those who appear to be inferior, like when a lowly slave helps the king of the jungle. Sometimes the small, meek creature surprises us. Your assignment this week is to write your own good deed story, 3 to 5 pages, based on a personal experience and bring it to class on Friday. He smiled at me. "We shall await yours, Katrina, with bated breath." The bell rang. "Oh, and read the next story for tomorrow." For the rest of the morning I endured the questions, "What did you do? Where did you do it?" No one cared about truth. Rumors were set free to roam the halls like hairy tarantulas. Elizabeth and I ate lunch in her car, hidden behind tinted windows. I pulled my lunch bag from my backpack and told her everything. "That's it? Coffee and some pastries?" She unwrapped a hummus sandwich. "And some chocolate-covered coffee beans." "Again, that's it? Sorry to disappoint you." I peeled back my yogurt's foil cover. Grandma Anna had shoved one of her old-world sandwiches into my bag, a pickled herring and onion creation. Try eating that for lunch and maintaining a position in the mundane middle. "Hey, maybe you can ask him to the solstice, and I'll ask Face and we can double date." "What? I don't even know him." How many times would I repeat that? "So? He's cute." "Cute? Yeah, he's cute," I admitted, "but he wears that stupid kilt." "What's wrong with a kilt? At least it's different. Nordby guys wear sweatshirts and jeans. Boring." "But he was sleeping in our alley. Don't you think that's weird?" Elizabeth peeled the crust off her sandwich. "There's probably a good explanation." Elizabeth had been my best girlfriend since 7th grade, when we had each started our periods for the first time on the same exact day, and had ended up in the nurse's office crying and confused. Well, I had been the one doing most of the crying, while she had simply been pissed off. "It's not fair," she had screamed when the nurse handed us each a pad with wings. "How am I supposed to wear this thing with jeans? Everyone will see it." I had assured her that no one could see it, and she had assured me that no one could see it. Best friends, just like that. "How come Heidi's in charge of decorations for the festival?" Elizabeth complained. "I should do it. She's not an artist. Heidi's in charge because she wants to be in charge." "Right. Well, I should volunteer this year. It would look good on my college applications." "Yeah, it probably would." Elizabeth opened a bag of potato chips. As I reached in for a handful, Heidi and Vincent walked past. Why was he walking with her? Sure, they were both on the swim team, but he didn't usually hang out with girl swimmers. And Vincent knew I didn't like Heidi Darling. He knew that her father's coffeehouse had stolen most of our business. He knew how much I despised Mr. Darling. Heidi laughed at something, tossing her ponytail from side to side. Vincent smiled at her. "Did you see how she was fake laughing?" Elizabeth asked, stuffing chips into her mouth. "What's up with that?" "I bet she likes him. I bet she'll ask him to the festival." "No way. Really? You think she likes him?" "Why not? What's not to like? Why don't you like him?" "Because he's my friend, and because I knew everything about him. I knew that he sometimes got a pimple on his earlobe. I knew that he got really bad gas if he drank milk, and I knew that he sometimes had nightmares about drowning. Our relationship was way beyond liking. We knew each other. But if Heidi liked him, then that would be a total nightmare. If my best friend was dating my enemy's daughter, then I'd have to listen to him tell me how wonderful she was, and I'd have to act nice because that's what best friends do. I'd have to hang out with them. I'd become a third wheel. Heidi and Vincent walked into the science building. Just before the door closed, he touched her arm. A fire alarm went off in my head. In the grand scheme of things, touching someone's arm is nothing. An arm is just an arm, but I didn't go around touching people's arms. Touching people's arms are definitely a gesture of fondness. Fondness can lead to all sorts of things. No way. Never. Not in a million years would I hang out with Heidi Darling. Forget it. Vincent would have to choose between us, and he would choose me because we'd been best friends since 4th grade. Wouldn't he?